Surrendering was the first steps to happiness. Over the past couple years, God has been building my trust with Him and teaching me that it's safe to surrender with Him. Constantly reminding me along the way that I'm His child and it's safe to land in His arms. Sometimes I still have doubts, worries, and concerns about that due to my past experiences, being neglected at the hands of somebody else who claimed to worship the same God that wanted to restore me and heal me at the same time. But He's been reassuring me that it's safe to rest right where I am. And that He just wants to speak to me right where I am. I can't lie if I said that I haven't been struggling with the thought of that and the feeling of that. How do you rest in such a perfect presence when you feel so imperfect? How do you get to a point of feeling worthy enough or feeling okay enough to even open up in such a way? But once again, He still reassures me along the way. But I can't lie, there's most definitely one question that's still lingering along the way. Why am I still scared to surrender? For the past couple years, I can't lie, I've been really scared of God, or at least what I thought was God. I would hear people use language as just surrender to God and He'll take care of the rest. But my thought was always, how do you surrender to a God that you don't trust? 1 John 4:18 tells us that there's no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in God's love. But how do you surrender to a God that you're scared of?
So I was just talking to Jesus, and I think He told me to go to Los Angeles. If you don't know, I'm currently in Greenville, South Carolina, and this is my last day in my apartment. We move out tomorrow. I literally did not know where I was going. What? This is crazy. Okay. Calm down.
Surrender looks foreign. I didn't realize it at the time, but this trip to LA at the young age of 22 was not only my first steps of surrender, but also the first steps of growth in my relationship with God. This trip gave me time to ask God questions about myself. Who am I? How does He see me? What was my purpose? When you grow up in a small town, it can be hard to see yourself differently than your family, than your friends, or even your small town. But being across the country gave me the freedom. It gave me the freedom to ask questions, to be curious, to go on adventure. It gave me permission to become something in real time, without the expectations of anybody else or the worries and doubts. Honestly, it gave me the chance and the freedom to bloom. So I want to come on and also share something that I feel like God downloaded to me a little earlier. Well, last night actually, before was it this morning or last night? One or other. And I just want to share this, and maybe it can help somebody like get a different point of view about what's happening in their lives like right now. So I recently came back home from California. If you know me, you know I've been in California for like past 9 months, and I did a lot of growing. Like I called it like my eat, pray, love journey, and low-key like my wilderness journey. Like I had to go through a lot when I was there. I came back home for the holidays and what not have you. I look at it sometimes like this, like last time I was here, I was so stressed. Like I was really familiar, but I also felt like I couldn't express myself. I felt like I felt stifled. I felt stuck. So God rooted me in a place where I felt familiar and took me somewhere where I didn't know anybody, didn't know nothing. And in that space was where I learned to find myself with no noise, no other opinions, just me and God, literally. That was it. And now that I'm back, you know, I came back to a space of where now I feel like I can conquer the place that once stifled me because I'm strong enough to now. Sometimes God will take you out of what's familiar, and He'll take you out of a bad situation, a place where you can't grow, to a place where you need to grow, back to the place that you felt you could not grow, so you can go back and conquer the land. I don't know who's that was for, but that hit me hard last night. Sometimes we have to go back to the places so you can see how much you've truly grown. And sometimes you have to go back into those environments. Well, I won't say unfortunately, but sometimes you have to go back, unfortunately. But just know if you're back in that place, it's fine. It's cool. You're stronger now. You're not the same person anymore. So the land can't overtake you because you're overtaking the land, okay? So that's all. That's it. I hope this helps whoever it needs to help, but that hit me hard earlier today. Yeah. Surrender isn't punishment, but an act of love. I wish I could have told myself that even with that revelation from God, that the process of taking over the land or taking over something that once held you captive or held you down could be so long and tiring. But yet, now looking back, 3 years later, I honestly wish I would have just enjoyed the moments. In the in-between moments, and just enjoying the people around me, my friends, the people I consider my safe space, people that make me laugh without second guessing myself or intentions. I wish somebody would have told me just to have faith in the in-between, and that God was still writing my story no matter how it felt in the moment. But somehow fear was still lingering.
I don't know. I just want to be very, very vulnerable with this and like kind of be transparent. Let's talk about this whole church thing really quickly, because I know this is a topic that I've discussed previous times, like numerous times already. I had a real breakdown moment. And I also told this story on TikTok. And granted, it doesn't seem to be like that big of a deal. I just had a moment where I was like, I'm tired of dealing with this. Like, I don't have to deal with this. And it had nothing to do, like leaving the church for me had nothing to do with my relationship with Jesus. It wasn't like, God, I'm mad at you. Well, I had that moment. I cried about it for sure, but it wasn't the reason for me leaving. The reason I was upset with God was because I was just like, God, like, I just feel like you put me in a predicament to be hurt a little bit. And I just didn't know how to handle the feeling of that overall. And I just didn't know where to go about it from that point on. And I wanted to regulate my nervous system. Like I wanted to be, I feel like I haven't lived a life yet where I felt completely safe in my environment, with myself, with other people. I feel like I'm always, or at least I was always living on edge, and I was just ready for something to happen. Like I was just so ready for anything to happen, just in case. I'm like, oh, I gotta protect me. Like this happened. Like I never lived in a space of you're safe here. Like you can feel safe. You can let your guard down here. Like I don't know what that's like, and I'm still working on that. Like I'm still working on feeling like, oh, you are safe enough to just exist. You're safe enough to just be. And not feel like you're in fight or flight mode or feel like somebody's constantly after you all the time. It's so many layered things that I want to talk about, but I'm just like, I don't know how much I want to share. And that's the thing, because like I hate being like over vulnerable with people. I hate it. Like I feel like sometimes I'm living a life that's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is not our life. This is not what we're supposed to be doing with our life. But at the same time, it's like, what are you gonna do? You know, like the year's, I don't know, the year isn't bad yet. It's only the 10th so far. And then religion also is like messing me up in a weird way as well. I don't know. I just feel so disconnected and disassociated with like people and environments. And like when I'm there, it's like, what am I doing here? Like I'm not connected with anybody, it feels like. I'm like, why am I here? I feel like I can't really find true community yet. Like I'm trying like to get involved more. It's just not happening the way that I would like it to. But I'm just very emotional thinking about all of it and like, how do I fix it? Or do I just keep living life in such a way that like one day I just look up and my life is my life? You know what I mean? Like, do you just keep living and then life happens? Or do you make an effort at life and then life unfolds through the efforts that you make? You know what I mean? We'll get more into it later.
I'm very grateful to have made a lot of progress with God over the past 3 years, but for some reason I just can't figure out why fear was in the front seat driving me to every destination besides safety, why anxiety rang true in my life. I was perplexed by the thought, and then it hit me. Over the years, I feel like I've picked up thoughts and ideas and identities that has really caused me to be anxious. A lot of things that I came into agreement with that opened the door for fear and anxiousness and anxiety. So I have a question for you. When you reduce yourself down to nothing, who are you? When you take off all the labels that this world gives you, what are you left with? Surrendering has been a big part of my walk with God, and honestly, the biggest part to my freedom. No matter how the world sees me, I'm still a child of God. And there is freedom in that identity of being a child of God. You have certain rights and authority as a child of God. Freedom, a sound mind, all these things are yours by inheritance by being a child of God. I'm not my gender. I'm not my sexual orientation. I'm not my job title. I'm not what my family and friends see me as. I'm simply just a child of God. When it's all said and done, that's what it boils down to. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is really fun to make and to put together, and I don't know. I hope you guys really enjoyed it and found some kind of revelation in it as well. As much as I have been living life and, you know, God has been speaking to me, I hope this speaks to you as well. The Innocent Souls Project is just the beginning of me sharing as much or as little as God so leads me to share. So stay tuned. I love you guys, and I will see you guys for Act 3, which should be very, very soon. So talk to you guys later. Bye.